Kids didn't know what Christmas was, and it destroyed me. 3 years ago, I was working as a social worker when I got assigned to the worst case I'd ever seen. Two siblings, ages 6 and 8, had been locked in a basement for most of their lives by their biological parent. When we found them, they could barely speak, had never seen sunlight, and were so malnourished they looked like skeletons. The foster system was overwhelmed, and nobody wanted to take two severely traumatized kids who screamed at every loud noise and couldn't use a bathroom properly. That's when my wife and I made the decision that changed everything. We brought them home, knowing it would be the hardest thing we'd ever do. For months, they wouldn't eat at the dinner table because they thought it was a trap. They hoarded food under their beds, in their closets, even in their shoes, convinced we'd stop feeding them. They flinched every time we raised our voices, even to call them for dinner. The little girl, Sarah, would only sleep in the closet because open spaces terrified her. Her brother Jake hadn't spoken a single word in the 3 months they'd been with us. They had nightmares every single night. Sarah would wake up screaming, thinking she was back in that basement. Jake would wet the bed and then try to hide it because he expected to be beaten. Simple things like turning on lights or opening doors would send them into panic attacks. But slowly, things started to change. Sarah began sleeping in her bed instead of the closet floor. Jake started making eye contact instead of staring at walls. They both began to trust that food would always be there, that we wouldn't hurt them, that this was their real home now. We thought we were making real progress. Then December came around, and I started putting up Christmas decoration. That's when I noticed both kids watching me with pure terror in their eyes, backing away from the tree like it was going to attack them. When I asked them what was wrong, Sarah whispered that the bad people used to hurt them more during the light time because it made them cry louder and the neighbors couldn't hear them over holiday music. I realized they had no idea what Christmas actually was. They'd never gotten presents, never seen Santa, never experienced the joy that every child deserves. Instead, their violators had used the season as an excuse for horrible things, telling them that nobody cared about them while other kids got gifts, that Santa only visited good children and they were too broken and worthless. When I gently explained what Christmas really meant, family, love, presents, and a magical man who brings joy to children, Sarah looked at me like I was telling her fairy tales. Jake just stared at the floor, refusing to believe anything good could happen to him. They couldn't comprehend that a holiday could bring happiness instead of pain. On Christmas Eve,